very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News here on MTV Sports. I'm Ramesh Rugalbandara. We start off with a look at your headlines. Notice issued on respondents in their FAR petition calling for the annulment of the GCE advanced level results to appear before court. 2 officers attached to the Lankan police arrested on bribery charges. And in news overseas, a car bomb allegedly detonated by FARC rebels leaves 5 dead and levels a police station. On to those stories in detail. Now, the Supreme Court ordered the court registrar today to issue notice on the respondents in the fundamental rights petition which had been filed, calling for the results of the GCE advanced level examination to be annulled. This order was issued when the fundamental rights petition was taken up before a 3-judge bench headed by Chief Justice Dr. Shirani Bandaranaike. The Commissioner General of Examinations, the University Grants Commission, Minister of Education Banduru Gunawardena, Professor R.O. Thatil of the University of Peradeniya, and the Attorney General have been cited as respondents in this case. The counsel appearing on behalf of the Attorney General noted that the Attorney General had received notice in this regard yesterday. The Chief Justice had stated in court today that the petition must be considered in the presence of the respondents. The lawyer appearing on behalf of the petitioners noted that although notices were issued on the respondents as per court records, in fact, the respondents had not received these notices. The lawyer appearing on behalf of the petitioners further stated that the petition should be considered speedily as this is an issue which affects the entire student community. Thereby, the 3-judge bench ordered that notices be issued on the respondents and postponed hearings of the petition until the 13th of this month. The petition has been filed by the Ceylon Teachers Union and 16 students. Well, 4 suspects, including 2 police officers attached to the Lankan police station, have been arrested on the charge of accepting a 10,000 rupee bribe. An officer from the Bribery and Corruption Commission stated that the bribe had been paid to secure the release of a lorry and a wood-cutting machine which had belonged to a businessman in the Lankan area and had been taken into court custody. Subsequent to being produced before the Tissa Mahara Magistrates Court, the suspects were remanded until the 14th of next month. Customs at the Bandaranaike International Airport has seized 8 birds that were being smuggled into the country. A customs official said that the birds have been identified as 4 wild ducks and 4 parakeets. Customs also stated that these birds were valued at 800,000 rupees each. The birds had been brought in from Bangkok by a resident of the Colombo area. A customs official said that the suspect had hidden the birds in boxes in his luggage and had plastered their beaks. Meanwhile, customs also took into custody a stock of onion seeds which had been brought into the country illegally. According to a customs official, an Indian national who arrived in the country from Chennai had been in possession of the stock of seeds which weighed 175 kilograms. He added that the seeds had been concealed within a consignment of garments. A group of Sri Lankan workers who had to face numerous hardships in the Middle East arrived in the island today. According to our correspondent, the group consisted of 70 individuals.
A majority of the individuals who arrived this morning were from Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. They did not pay my salaries. A woman sold me to 5 to 6 homes for 60 dinars. They told me they won't put me to the agency, and they didn't. I came to the embassy where I had to stay for about 6 months. The Foreign Employment Bureau had provided these individuals with money to go back to their homes.
An individual who had deceived many young women that he would marry them and later disappeared after stealing their cash and jewellery has been arrested in Kegol. The value of the robbed cash and jewellery has been estimated at over 6 million rupees. The police said that the individual had forged identification documents to show that he was a lawyer, had thus deceived 35 women across the island. The suspect is a resident of the Galigamo area. Subsequent to being produced before the Nuwara Magistrates Court, the suspect was remanded until the 8th of this month. Chief Minister of the Central Province, Sarath Ekanayake, states that certain parties are talking about 13 plus today with political goals in mind. The minister made this statement while participating in an event at the Kandy Hospital.
The renovated accident ward of the Kandy Hospital was declared open by Central Province Chief Minister Sarath Ekanayake yesterday. When talking about 13 plus, no one thinks about the people's rights or the people's needs. We must decide whether we are going to sit in the provincial council and talk about the council or talk about serving the people. We think that some people have taken this unnecessary topic and are trying to see how they can divide the central government in this unified Sri Lanka. The expectations of the provincial council are not the 13th amendment to the constitution and 13 plus. We must think about how we work. All these unnecessary rules and regulations are not necessary for this. The people who are talking about 13 plus are doing so for political mileage and not because they care about the country.
Rain is something that is essential for life, yet it can be the root cause of many disasters. This is the story of a group of farmers who have been affected due to the lack of this basic necessity. The Ratugala indigenous village in Bibila is home to 98 families. They make a living by farming with the use of rainwater. However, the farmers had to face an unexpected turn of events during this yellow season as extreme dry weather conditions threatened to destroy their only livelihood. The leader of the Ratugala indigenous community, Danigala Mahamadalage Sudha Vannilatto, says that no one pays attention to the plight of his people. The survival of the indigenous community has been threatened. Sometimes the rains destroy our crops, but now it is the lack of rain that is destroying these crops. Although we speak to officials, it is of no use. When there is so much development within the nation, I need to ask why these officials are not looking at the plight of our people. The indigenous community of Ratugala have now been reduced to a plight of watching their crops die right before their eyes owing to the lack of water, while the authorities turn a blind eye to it all. A person who had been operating an illicit liquor storage facility in the Gampol area has been arrested on suspicion by the police. Police stated that the 150 litres of alcohol had been taken into custody. The police further stated that the liquor had been stored in a secret compartment in a garage in the Panvilatanna area in Gampula. The suspect is to be produced before the Gampula Magistrates Court today. Well, 13 individuals have also been arrested in suspicion of illegally mining sand from the Mahaveli River.
The suspects were arrested in a combined operation carried out by the Police Special Task Force, Department of Forest Conservation and the Wildlife Office in Polonnaruwa. The Department of Forest Conservation also stated that it seized 13 tractors which had been used to transport sand. A spokesperson for the Polonnaruwa office of the department said the suspects were arrested near a national park. The suspects are to be produced in court today.